yourself a break. Here you'll find some love, music, laughter, and above. Oh, she'll dare to tell the truth. And so come to Granny's place and give your spirit a big boost.
Welcome to Granny's Place, a haven for love, entertainment, and uncommon sense. My name is Sweet Baby James, and I'm here to introduce you to Granny Rocks and to tonight's theme, which is, it doesn't fit my picture. So it's wrong? Let's ask Granny. What do you think?
I don't know. Is it wrong? Is it wrong? Well, first I want to tell you, let me give you an update, guys. Okay, so you all know, or many of you know, I broke my left arm 4 weeks ago, and it was in a sling, and then last week it was just hanging there. So now I play occasionally, but it hurts and it does weird things. It's like I move it around and it feels like a rubber band. So I'm not supposed to be using it too much, but I can't help myself. I just have to occasionally do something with my left hand, but that's it. You won't see it flying around the keyboard because it's still broken. Anyway, is that wrong? Is there anything wrong just because an arm is broken? Does that make it wrong?
No, it shouldn't make it wrong, but it certainly doesn't fit your picture of what you expected, right?
No, it's not what I expected. A few weeks ago, I didn't think I'd be sitting here with an injured arm. Okay, anyway, let me tell you what this show is about. Let me tell you how it all got started.
Okay.
So, you know, Sweet Baby James and I are married. So, I grew up with a family where women were strong and had opinions and, in fact, tended to dominate because the women were kind of a little smarter. I hate to say that. I don't mean to be judgmental, but it's just like, oh my God, what can I tell you? It's really true. So what can you say? So sometimes it's better. I don't mean that the male in the family, I'm not going to say who that male was not a good person or that he was always wrong. No, of course not. But the female who happened to be my mother just seemed to be just a little bit, you know, had more in the brain department. So she had a tendency to see things that he didn't. So anyway, that seemed, I'm bringing my left arm in, perfectly normal to me. Perfectly normal to me. Perfectly normal to me. Okay, now, Sweet Baby James grew up in a family where the man dominated, and that was the way that it was supposed to be. And that seemed perfectly normal to him. Perfectly normal to him. Perfectly normal to him. Well, so what happens if Granny Rocks has a better idea than Sweet Baby James on any topic? It's perfectly not normal to him, and it's perfectly normal to me.
There's something wrong with this picture.
There's something wrong with this picture. Something's wrong. Something's wrong. Ugh. This must be fought and defeated. Okay, so obviously there's going to be a little bit of an incompatibility of expectations in the household, right? Ugh. Okay. So out of that, I thought, my God, it doesn't fit his picture, right? It fits my picture. Seems perfectly normal to me. And so then I thought, well, how many other things are there that seem perfectly normal to me and do not seem perfectly normal to you? or vice versa. Or worse than that, how many realities seem absolutely wrong to me? Forget about you. It doesn't even have anything to do with you. It's like, okay, here I am, like you said, I didn't have an expectation of having a broken arm that was going to hurt, or that it feels like every time you move it, there's a rubber band moving across it. Okay, that does not feel like perfectly normal to me. But it turns out that a lot of people with broken arms in that spot have like these weird things that happen, and it feels like everything is moving, but it's really perfectly normal. But I don't know that it's perfectly normal, because to me, that's terrible. Oh my God, the bones are moving. My arm is breaking. It's collapsing. I'm disintegrating. Oh no! And it's perfectly normal to the doctor. Perfectly normal to the doctor. All right, so I'm talking about this, but now are you getting the picture? Because how much of life just doesn't fit our picture, and therefore it must be wrong. Okay, so let's say you grow up in a household where the husband is very successful financially, and nobody else in the house ever has to go to work. And the wife can have manicures or pedicures or whatever cures her. Versus the daughter gets married to a guy, he's an artiste, right? And he doesn't make any money. Or he doesn't make much money, and he doesn't seem to have any business sense at all. And she's doing the books of the house. She has no time for her manicure or her pedicure. And what is the immediate visceral reaction? Now, it could be one in two directions, right? Because she could say, I hate my father. He was so dominant. He was never home. I really just want an artiste who's available, who loves our children, who maybe even can cook. Oh, I love that. Or she could say, oh, I love that. Yeah, I really love that. That's what I want you to be, right? That's how I picked you. I picked you so you diametrically different from my father, but it's not perfectly normal to me. There's something wrong with this guy. There's something wrong with this guy. He's not making money. He's not sending our children to Harvard. I gotta go to work. Oh no! It's not normal. There's something wrong. Is there something wrong? Well, maybe the guy is really sick emotionally, and that's why he can't go to work, and there is something wrong. Maybe not wrong in the sense of morally wrong, but that he's got some problems and he needs help. The guy's depressed, or, you know what I mean? It's hard for him to hold down a job, and that needs to be dealt with. But just the very fact that he doesn't make much money or isn't good at business doesn't mean that there's anything wrong. It just doesn't fit my picture. Now, that seems kind of obvious, right? Right. What about our children? Oh, our children, our delightful children. They're so wonderful. They're so cheerful. They're so energetic. They're such a pain in the ass. Did I say that? Oh, no. The perfect family is that I am baking muffins, and my children are happily playing with their crayons on the floor. Did you just get crayon on the carpet? That was not part of the picture. You're supposed to keep your crayon because when I was a child, my crayon never left that piece of paper. Or my child is not a happy-go-lucky child. My child is an anxiety-ridden nutcase, just like I am. And it's like, oh my God, what does it say? Oh my God, something's wrong with my child. Get a drug right now. My child is not making me proud at school. The teachers have had to call me in. They're saying that Johnny, who is 3 days old, is maladjusted. That child is not normal. Something is wrong. We must medicate this child immediately before he infects the other children. And they all realize they don't want to sit there either. They want to do something. So is that child, does that child have a problem? Or is the child just super energetic? Or maybe a little bit, skittish, or really smart and bored, or whatever it is, I don't know. But it's something is wrong, because my child is supposed to make me proud, and that's why I had children, to make me proud, or to prove that I would be a better mother than my mother, right? My child is not doing that. There's something wrong with this picture. It's my husband's fault. It's gotta be. It can't be me, because I'm the perfect mother, because I read all those books. I know exactly what to do. And anyway, I've got to be better than my mother. So if I'm not better than my mother, something is wrong with this picture. Okay, here are some very simple examples. But you think this doesn't happen every day? Okay, so now you pick up the news. I call it picking up the newspaper. Nobody picks up a newspaper. Everybody picks up their iPad or their tablet or their cell phone or whatever, and they see the news. And the president first is threatening Russia with sanctions, and then he said, "Oh, I didn't really mean that. I meant it's all Haley, whatever you call it, UN ambassador. Nikki Haley, she misspoke. She just accidentally got up there and said we were going to do sanctions with Russia. It was an accident." So, and then we're saying, what kind of a president is that? One minute he says this, the next minute he says that. He seems to change his mind every 2 seconds. Okay, so we all know what a president is supposed to look like. A president is supposed to look calm. Supposed to look like Barack Obama. A president is supposed to look thoughtful and balanced. He should have talked to everybody before. He doesn't speak until he's thought it through 100 times. Right? So there's something wrong with this guy, this president, because he talks before he thinks, or he talks instead of thinking, or whatever he does. Now, that's no good. Something is wrong with that, because he doesn't look presidential.
When I think about it, every president we've ever had, we always have something wrong with that picture.
Ooh! Like, how could a president be black? I mean, really? I mean, shouldn't he be playing basketball or playing jazz or something in a club? I mean, president. I mean, he could get ahead, but he shouldn't be president. The nerve.
And Franklin Roosevelt in a wheelchair.
In a wheelchair.
Disabled.
And our next president being a woman. I mean, there's nothing right with that. and she'll never be able to wear the suit and tie. Or you have all these guys walking around in these outfits. James and I were just talking to a senior resident. Not that we're moving, but we were just trying to get the lay of the land. And as most of you know, I'm chronically ill. It takes a lot for me to get dressed. A very big deal. So it's like, especially with a broken arm. So it takes a lot for me to get dressed. I even did Granny's place in a nightgown. So I said, dinner, can I go down in a robe? It would be a very clean robe, I hope. Or maybe not so clean, but you'll never know because you won't be that close. And that way I can actually leave the room. He said, Ernu, you can't sit in a dining room with a robe on.
That doesn't fit the picture.
It doesn't fit the picture because we don't want other people to come. He didn't say this, but it's like we don't want people to come in and think that this is like a bunch of loser old people, who are drooling. No. It wouldn't fit the picture, so it must be wrong. Okay.
So wrong.
So very wrong. So let's try to think about some other things. I want you to be thinking now. You know, Glenn Gould was a very famous classical pianist. An incredible pianist, actually. And he used to go when he was playing the piano. I mean, it was not, and you could hear him on the recording. That was so wrong. That was so very wrong. So very wrong. Now, let's get serious. Oh, yeah, so I was saying I want you to think about something in your life that you are uncomfortable with and ask yourself, is the reality wrong or is the picture wrong? First of all, is this situation fitting into my idea, my job, my career prospects? I have always known that I was going to be an executive. I've always known that. And I keep not getting that promotion. And I keep staying among the workers. And that is not my picture, for example. Never mind the fact that I come to work drunk every day. Or that I'm totally ill-suited to the job. Or I would hate being an executive. I really don't want to be an executive. Or I'm a rabble-rouser in the union, and of course they're not going to promote me. Or I'm a rabble-rouser in the union. They are going to promote me because they want to, co-opt me. But anyway, what I'm saying, or I hate the job anyway, but I don't want to lose it because if I stay on this track, I know what's going to happen, but it's not happening. So what is the point of me staying in this job that I've hated all these years because it's not getting me where I want to because it's not fitting my picture? And even worse, my wife, my husband, my mate, they're not getting ahead in their job. That must mean they're no good. They couldn't possibly be doing their job properly if they're not getting put into management or whatever. It doesn't fit my picture. It must be wrong. And how much aggravation do we feel in those moments? I mean, don't we?
Oh, yeah.
It's like we're all riled up inside. And do we say, so we come and we tell our friends, that lousy SOB, he didn't promote me again. Again, he didn't promote me. Look, I did this, I did this, I did this, I did this, and he didn't promote me. Is it really the right job for me? Or am I exactly where I should be in the company? I'm doing a fabulous job. And if they promoted me, I would do a terrible job. But it doesn't fit my picture. So I can't say, hey, it's okay. It's absolutely okay. I don't need to get a promotion. I need to stay where I am. How many people get promoted until they're totally incompetent in their jobs? We all know that. Isn't that some principle?
The Peter principle.
The Peter principle.
You rise to your level of incompetence. But it doesn't fit my picture. So, and sometimes it's the opposite. People are pushing you in your career because they think you're brilliant or whatever, and they want you to move forward, and you say, no, that's not what I want, either because you want to actually have a life and be with your kids, or because you're insecure inside and it doesn't fit your picture to be part of management, or you hate management because you think they're sons of bitches, and so therefore you don't want to be part of management anyway, and they're pushing you into management and you don't like it, and that doesn't fit your picture. So any of these things cannot fit your picture, and you can be very, very unhappy. Very unhappy with your mate. Okay, my dog. My dog doesn't follow me around the house like I saw in those cartoons when I was a kid. I definitely know every Fido follows their person. And my dog gets up in the morning and snoozes
in bed because she just doesn't feel like getting up yet. That must mean she doesn't love me, or it means that she knows I'm a louse deep down inside because dogs know these things, or it means she is an ungrateful hound. I should get rid of her and find a dog that will follow me around the house because she doesn't fit my picture. Well, maybe you should get a different dog. I'm not telling you what to do, right? But I'm saying, well, does she give you love? Are you happy? Does she give you joy? You know what I mean? Does she fit your picture? Most of the time, but there's this one thing which makes you feel unloved and unlovable. Or are you unlovable? Maybe because you beat the dog, she's not coming. Or maybe she just has tired bones and she likes to stay in bed in the morning because she's got arthritis or whatever. Or maybe she was conditioned that way by her first human. I don't know. Whatever it is, she doesn't fit the picture. Do I get rid of the dog or do I kill myself? That's the question. Or do I get rid of the picture? Oh, no. Did you say get rid of the picture?
Whoa. What an idea.
Never. Because the picture is reality. Is reality, the picture is reality. And if reality conflicts with the picture, reality has to go. I say that all the time. Where's the book? Living with it. Show them this book.
Living with Reality. Who we are, what we could be, how we get there.
That book is free for nothing on the innerrevolution.org website.
Yeah.
You think it's 688 pages. It's free as a PDF file. And why did it take 688 pages to talk about living with reality? Because it does. And not only does this book tell you all about reality, but it cuts away so much of the nonsense, and it gives you ways, processes to go through in order to be more relaxed and to be more in reality and to fulfill the actual potential you have. So let's go back to the marriage with the guy who doesn't make much money. Okay, so here we go. Here's my husband, and he's the artiste, and he's not making much money, but he's really great with the kids. And then he finally has an exhibit of his work. And this is going to make it all worthwhile, because I'm going to now go, and he's going to be recognized as this great artist, and that I was this wonderful person because I supported him in his art. And it's just going to be fantastic. And everybody comes and they run out of the gallery. And he can't sell a single picture except to my mother, who doesn't like it either, but she isn't going to say so. So now I am married to this great artiste, and I've sacrificed my love and my life to him. And he's a lousy artist. Oh my God. Or people think he's a lot. Maybe he's brilliant and nobody has caught up with him. Or maybe he's just lousy. So, oh my God, I have wasted my life supporting this zlub. That's a Yiddish word. It is exactly the way it sounds, right? It means what it sounds. He's a zlub. So, this does not fit my picture. You mean I spent my life doing this? This is not what I signed up for. I thought I was spending my life supporting the next Picasso. Right? It doesn't fit my picture. We go home from the gallery, and I pack my bags. And I say, oh my God, this doesn't fit my picture. Never mind that he's the most loving person I've ever met. Never mind that he actually makes dinner and breakfast. Never mind that he takes care of the kids. Never mind that he walks the dog. Never mind that I like his art. Never mind that he's decorated the home beautifully. Never mind the fact that I actually prefer to go to work and make the money. It feels better to me. Never mind any of that. He's a failure as an artist, and that does not fit my picture. And there you go. So, think about it. How often do we feel shame about somebody, like, with the child who is misbehaving in the classroom, and it makes us look bad? Like, oh boy, what a fool she was, or what kind of a terrible mother was she, or whatever it is, or my child is gay. Oh my God, what's wrong with me? I must have been a terrible mother because I've driven my son into being gay. All this nonsense, right? So, what's the truth? The truth is never the picture. Reality is what it is. And even though most of us have found that when reality conflicts with our ideas, reality must go, that's a miserable way to live life. So let's decide today that we're going to think about all the ways that we're trying to impose pictures and we don't even know it. We may be totally unconscious of where these pictures are coming from. Oh, it came from the movies. It came from my father. It came from my Aunt Gertrude. It came from my girlfriend when she was 7 years old and she had the maturity of a 7-year-old, right? It came from somewhere. It came from Facebook.
Social media.
Social media. So, all right. So I'm free. It doesn't mean a darn thing. So forget whether or not it fits the picture. The question is, does it fit me? Who cares if my mate is successful, if he or she or they don't make me happy? Who cares if I'm impressing my parents? Who cares if anybody doesn't fit the picture? Who cares if President Trump looks presidential? The question is he doing a good job? Is he doing the right things by us? Or not? That's what I care about. All the rest is complete and utter nonsense. Tonight at 7:15 Pacific time, we're having Granny's Kitchen. And that meeting, we're going to talk about how we feel about this. We're going to discuss it. And I'm going to be leading that meeting. Sweet Baby James will be there too. And if you want to come, you can see it on video conference, or you can call in if you don't have the right internet connection for all of that. And
that information is on Facebook.
Yes. In the post for the show, it tells you exactly how to get into Granny's Kitchen. There's, you probably can't see this, but James' dog Lily is begging for him to put her in her lap, his lap, because she can't fathom that James could sit there and that she wouldn't be in his lap. It doesn't fit her picture. Love you all. Come to Granny's Kitchen. Please spread this show. Let's start spreading some common sense, new ways of thinking, and come back next week and support this program. Bye.